Halloween Horror Nights 2023, a night to remember. The crisp autumn air carried a sense of anticipation as October approached, and the small town of Willowbrook eagerly prepared for its annual Halloween Horror Night. The year 2023 was special as it marked the event's 25th anniversary, promising a night of spine-tingling terror like never before. The entire town seemed to be in on it, with houses adorned in macabre decorations and every storefront displayed eerie masks and costumes. It was a night that had become a tradition, and people from neighboring towns flocked to Willowbrook to experience the spine-chilling thrills that awaited them. As the sun dipped below the horizon on the fateful evening of October 31 Steed, the town's main street came alive with the eerie glow of jack-o'-lanterns and the distant echoes of haunting music. The event organizers had spared no effort to make this year's Halloween Horror Nights unforgettable. The main attraction was the Willowbrook Haunted Mansion, a sprawling, decrepit structure that had been abandoned for years. It was rumored to be cursed, making it the perfect centerpiece for the night's festivities. Brave souls lined up, their hearts pounding with a mixture of fear and excitement, eager to explore the dark corridors and encounter the horrors that lurked within. Among the thrill-seekers was Sarah, a young woman with a passion for all things spooky. She had been looking forward to Halloween Horror Nights 2023 for months, and she had convinced her friends to join her on this chilling adventure. As they stood in line for the Willowbrook Haunted Mansion, Sarah couldn't help but feel a shiver run down her spine. The mansion loomed before her, its windows shattered, and its facade covered in cobwebs. It was a daunting sight, but Sarah's excitement overpowered her fear. The group finally entered the mansion, greeted by eerie creaks and unsettling whispers. The interior was a labyrinth of dimly lit corridors, each leading to a different nightmare. As they ventured deeper, the air grew colder, and the feeling of being watched intensified. Sarah's friends clung to each other, their nervous laughter barely concealing their unease. It wasn't long before they encountered their first fright, a ghostly apparition that seemed to materialize from the darkness, sending them screaming and running for cover. The horrors didn't stop there. As the group explored room after room, they encountered a series of terrifying scenarios: a deranged butcher's kitchen, a blood-soaked hospital ward, and a haunted nursery filled with possessed dolls. Sarah felt her heart racing with each new encounter, but she couldn't help but revel in the adrenaline rush. The attention to detail in each room was astonishing, and the actors portraying the monsters and ghosts were so convincing that it was impossible to discern reality from illusion. The climax of the night came when the group reached the mansion's decrepit ballroom. It was here that the legend of the mansion's curse came to life. The room was adorned with rotting chandeliers, and a ghostly figure dressed in tattered finery floated above the grand piano. As the group watched in horror, the ghostly figure beckoned them closer, her mournful wails echoing through the room. Sarah's curiosity got the best of her, and she cautiously approached the ghostly apparition. With a chilling smile, the ghost whispered, "You seek the truth, don't you, my dear?" Sarah nodded, her voice barely a whisper. The ghost began to recount the tragic tale of the mansion, a story of forbidden love, betrayal, and a curse that had condemned the souls of its inhabitants to eternal torment. As the ghostly narrative unfolded, the room seemed to come alive, with spectral figures reenacting the tragic events of the past. Sarah and her friends were drawn into the story, experiencing the horror firsthand. It was a mesmerizing and terrifying spectacle, and they couldn't tear their eyes away from the spectral drama unfolding around them. The climax of the performance was a chilling revelation. Sarah's group had unwittingly become a part of the cursed mansion's narrative, and they were now trapped in a cycle of horror, destined to relive the mansion's gruesome history for eternity. Panic set in as they realized there was no escape from this nightmarish fate. As the night wore on, the line between reality and illusion blurred further, and Sarah and her friends struggled to maintain their sanity. They navigated through a never-ending maze of terror, encountering grotesque creatures and haunted specters at every turn. Each scare seemed more intense and surreal than the last, and Sarah couldn't help but wonder if they would ever make it out alive. Just when it seemed like all hope was lost, they stumbled upon a hidden chamber deep within the mansion. In the center of the room, they found an ancient tome, the very source of the mansion's curse. With trembling hands, Sarah opened the book and began to read an incantation that promised to break the curse once and for all. As she recited the words, a blinding light enveloped the chamber, and the mansion trembled with a deafening roar. Sarah and her friends were transported back to the mansion's entrance, their bodies drenched in sweat and their hearts pounding. Curse had been broken, and the mansion lay silent once more. Halloween Horror Nights 2023 had come to a chilling and unforgettable conclusion. Sarah and her friends may have escaped the cursed mansion, but the memories of that night would haunt them forever. As they stepped out into the cool October night, they couldn't help but feel a sense of exhilaration and relief. It had been a night of terror, but it was a night they would remember for the rest of their lives. In the end, Halloween Horror Nights 2023 had lived up to its promise of spine-tingling thrills and unforgettable scares. Willowbrook had once again delivered a night of horror that would be talked about for years to come, leaving a lasting impression on all who dared to enter its haunted realm.